When David Bellow first called me and asked to speak to Miss Greenblatt, he really threw me for a loop. I have not heard that name in decades, maybe a half a century. I was so excited to hear that the third grade students of PS 177 is honoring me as their favorite teacher. Needless to say, I felt thrilled and honored until I heard the date of the event, which will be held on Saturday, May 18th, which, because of religious restraints, I had to turn it down. That wonderful, gracious invitation, I could not go because I'm a Sabbath observer. I was then, like 50 years ago, and I still continued my faith. So you'll have to forgive me for not appearing in person, although I really wanted to. And maybe in the future, David Bellow will have the event on a Sunday. But hopefully this video will substitute for my being there in person. While preparing for this video, I began to rummage through my memorabilia file, and lo and behold, I found the original New York Times article on the limericks written by my fourth grade students of the IGC class at PS 177, and now will be time for show and tell. I have the original New York Times article, and hopefully you'll capture this on the video, and perhaps I will read a couple, and maybe one or two of you will recognize that it's your own original limerick. And this is straight from the New York Times article, 1964. Not long ago, members of the fourth grade IGC intellectually gifted children at New York's PS 177 were told about limericks by their teacher, who gave them examples and then asked them to try their hand at writing their own. Here is a sampling of what turned up. Limerick writing at its 9-year-old best. Punctuation, much as was indicated by the authors, has been left untouched. And I will proceed to read two of the wonderful limericks written by you, and see if you could recognize whose it is. There was a young lady from Flair who never stopped chewing her hair. Once she swallowed a bunch for supper and lunch. That unfortunate young lady of Flair. And hopefully the video will capture the rest of the limericks. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 limericks that were chosen, and see if you could recognize which one is your own.
Action.
There was an old man from Peru who dreamed he was eating his shoe. He awoke in the night and turned on the light and found it was perfectly true. I decided to write my own original limerick based on the trip to a museum. I hope you remembered that wonderful event when there was a Picasso exhibit at the Metropolitan Museum, and it was in Life magazine, May 1964. I do not have the original paintings that the students did when they came back to the classroom, imitating the Picasso style. But maybe one of you still kept that magazine article. And I think it was on the cover of Barbara Streisand, which is one of my favorite actresses. And I'm going to read my limerick now. There was a teacher at our school where each student was her jewel. To museums they went, and great times were spent learning art and things that are cool. So my message of this limerick is, and this is a message for all of you for life, is keep learning, keep discovering, and keep growing. It's never too late, even when you're 82 years old. I hope that when I grow up, I will become as successful as my students. This is Miss Greenblatt as you knew her in 1964, the year that I got married and changed my name to Mrs. Gold. Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Gold, alias Miss Greenblatt as you knew me, and this is what I looked like then, and now you see me, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person.